Okay, guys, so our final topic is Among Us here. We're going to be talking the Bad Batch spoiler filled review here in discussion, not necessarily going to be a play by play. We're going to talk about the things we liked and didn't like, whatever it may be. I can tell you up front, there's really nothing I didn't like about it. I thought this was a pretty good episode. I don't know if it was the best one, but it was up there, I think. It was definitely, I don't know if it was better than last week's or not, though, but either way, I thought it was great. I liked Actually, I'll let Rick comment on it. He had some good thoughts about the old Omega character here. So Rick, I'm gonna kick it over to you real quick. Let you what did you think about it? You said some stuff about Omega, and I'll let you take it away with that. What did you think about this week's episode?
Well, Rob, first of all, thank you. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me. No, what I thought was cool about it, one of the biggest things that they really did with this episode is throughout the episode and throughout the series, really, they've done a really good job at showing how Omega has kind of like honed her skills and become like a better fighter, whatever you want to call it. And throughout this episode especially, she used a lot of those skills to really kind of like get away, advance, whatever it is. And it's just like, it's not like that whole Ray Mary Sue thing where you're like, oh, she's just a girl who's just good at everything. Like you see why she's good at what she does and how she gets better. And I thought they did a really good job with that. So that was kind of a cool thing. And I really I turned this episode off and I was like, I think I even said out loud, I was like, that was good. And I'm not even a huge animated Star Wars fan, but like the Bad Batch is definitely roped me in.
Roped you in. You're liking everything you see here.
Yeah, yeah. I despite the animation, that was the biggest thing for me is the animation always took me out of Star Wars where I'm like, oh, it's animated. Star Wars isn't animated, but like I don't really feel that way. Like I feel like I'm watching Star Wars.
It does feel very and that's the thing too, I will say. For the longest time, I felt the very same way about, like, Clone Wars. Like, the animation for Clone Wars was not that I hated the character designs, and, like, back then when the show first came out, like, let's be honest, it really wasn't that good. It was PS2 looking shit, like, it really wasn't all that great.
It looked like PS2 cutscenes.
Yeah, and the writing was god awful, like, for the first 2, 3 seasons. But then, man, once you get past those first 2 or 3 seasons, like, it starts to pick up in season 3, but by golly, come season 4, it is very intrinsically Star Wars, and it's great. Like, I love Clone
They really
Wars,
like
season
found their
4.
own with it, yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic, but with Bad Batch, ever since the first episode,
It's been like the best parts of Clone Wars, but like just right off the bat.
yeah, man, it's been great. There's been, like, the animation is top notch, everything looks,
Oh
like,
yeah, like the
real.
environments.
Yeah, the environments look good, even the character models,
Like that
even,
looks like it's straight out of Clone Wars, like the movie right
yeah,
there.
like,
Or Attack of the
everything
Clones.
looks fantastic. Like, I love just the aesthetic. I love one thing too that, like, I really gotta give him props for, and you can really see it in, like, Lama Su. I'm trying to get a good shot of him here. Like, you see how, you can it's much easier to see in, like, the up close shots, but, like, the way they draw all the characters, they have, like, these brush strokes on them, like, it looks like they were painted. I just really like the aesthetic of it. I think it looks really good. Like, it gives them, like, texture. It's really hard like, you can kinda see it on, like, him a little bit, like, he looks painted in a way.
But yeah.
Like, you can kinda see it
You can
on,
look
like
it on Tech's
yeah,
forehead.
on
Like
Tech's forehead there. It looked like he had, like, brush strokes, like, it literally looks like he was a
there's
painted
depth to
character.
it and
Yeah,
texture.
it adds a ton of texture. It looks really good. Like, you see it, like, right there is perfect. Like, you see right there, like, he just, like, it just and they do it on all the characters. It's like, it's not just something on, like, him or anything. Like,
No.
it looks really good. Like, it adds depth and everything.
And how
It's really
cool
good.
is like Cad Bane as a character? Like the just like the straight up Clint Eastwood Western gunslinger, like just
Cad
that's like
Bane's
what he
cool,
is.
man.
Yeah, I
Like,
like Cad Bane.
I was never a big fan of Cad Bane. Like, everyone, like, loved Cad Bane, like, for the Clone Wars stuff, and, like, he was in, like, 3 episodes of Clone Wars, dude. Like,
Yeah.
maybe 6.
He's the guy who put the dent on Boba Fett's helmet.
I'm thinking we're gonna see that in Bad Batch.
Yeah, because there was that cut animation scene that never made it to the show.
Yeah, I'm 100% thinking we're gonna be seeing like, look at that shot.
I was expecting, and I would expect Boba Fett to show up somewhere in these later episodes.
See, I thought maybe.
Just every bounty hunter shit.
I thought just maybe there for a second that Fennec was already working with Boba, maybe,
Yeah.
and that's how like she would go back to him and be like, "Yeah, I had to run in with Cad Bane," and then that would set Boba in
Off to
motion.
Cad Bane.
Exactly, something like that, maybe. I don't know. Like, there's been no indication technically that in like Mando or anything that they knew each other prior. They kind of implied that that was their first meeting because she like commented on like, Boba Fett like saved me from the desert. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that was like it was kind of implied that was their first meeting, but who
I
knows?
like Toto too, his little droid. Like he's sassy and just funny, and
Yeah. Look at that shot though, dude.
yeah, that looks great.
It looks so good, dude. It looks so good. But yeah, then we got our first look at Fennec. That was the thing too. We now know that Fennec was hired by the one Kamonian who like wants to save Omega.
Yeah, the
Like,
one who's looking out for her,
yeah, I can't remember her name, but
not Lama Su.
it's not Lama Su, the
The one with
the
the red.
girl one, yeah. But she's the one who was like really close to Omega in the earlier episodes, and like so she has hired Fennec to get her and like
She doesn't want
save her.
Terminator like
Yeah,
the other ones were saying. Like the other
exactly. Because that was
Kaminoans were like Terminator.
exactly, because they want that's what we learned here, like, why Omega is important, because she's essentially the only being in existence right now that shares a one-to-one ratio of genetic code via Jango Fett.
Yeah, she's
So,
a
there's only
female Boba Fett,
yeah, she is
basically.
literally a female version of Boba Fett. So, like, she's like, other than Boba, there's no one else in existence that shares or holds, I guess,
And
as much Django genetic material
you
as her.
you know, Boba ain't giving up that DNA easily either.
Oh no, that's and yeah, and honestly, I think they may think he's presumed dead at this point.
Probably.
Like, 'cause they
They haven't
would
even mentioned him.
yeah, they haven't mentioned him. They would have realistically no idea that he's like out there being this bounty hunter.
No, they did
Like,
mention him in this episode. They said like Boba Fett, Alpha,
oh
but then
yeah,
he changed
yeah,
to
but
Boba Fett. But
yeah, otherwise known as Boba Fett.
yeah,
Like, but they
AK.
knew that Django called him Boba. That didn't imply that they know he's still alive.
No,
Is
they
my
just he
point.
was more or less just like off the cuff, just like mentioned.
Yeah, because like yeah, so we now know that her name is Omega and they call Django or they call Boba Alpha, like Alpha and Omega. So
Yeah.
Boba was the first, the Alpha, and this is the Omega of Django's DNA. That's what it is. So that's why Lama Su wants her to be captured to harvest her genetic material for these new stage 3 clones. So let me just say I told you so to all those people out there who were like, she's got to be force sensitive. I'll tell you what. Like, no, she's not.
No.
She's not. If they went the force sensitive route, it would just be like a whole other like Ray Mary Sue
It
thing.
really would,
That's all it
yeah.
would be.
That's
Because then,
I really hope
like,
they don't do that.
yeah, well, 'cause it would completely like it wouldn't necessarily completely negate it, but everything that you said off the top here, where it's like they show her learning all these things from the Bad Batch people and then her using that knowledge to like enhance her own skills and everything. But the moment you introduce that she's force sensitive, that all gets thrown out the window and it's just like, oh, she did it because she's force sensitive. That's why.
Right,
Yeah, I
right.
mean, it's like, man, like, but yeah, other than that, you think we're gonna be seeing like Cad Bane again?
I don't know. He got his ass kind of handed to him by Fennec, but I think we'll see her again because she was basically helping Omega in this episode. Like you could even like just tell in the way she was talking to her and all that that she definitely wasn't like out to get her. I
Well,
guess you
that's
could say.
because she's hired by that other Camoian who
Well, her loyalty is wherever the money's at. So
exactly. And but she knew that like this I don't know her name, but this Camoian or whatever wanted her captured safely, like for safe purposes. So
yeah,
that's why like she wasn't lying to Omega when she was like, I'm on your side here. I'm trying to save you. Like
right.
literally I was hired to do it,
Cad
sure,
Bane's sending
but
her to get killed, basically.
yeah, exactly.
Go get her DNA and kill her.
And that's why like at the end of this exchange here, she just said like, "Nah, just leave her be. She's safe where she is now, and I know that, so you're good. You're done. We don't need you anymore." Like, not in like a negative way. It's just like, like she's no longer wanting Fennec to hunt down Omega because she now knows that Omega is safe with the Bad Batch.
Right.
So
They're
like she's
keeping her
cool with
safe.
it. Yeah, like and that's all she wanted. And she's still paying Fennec. So like they're all Gucci.
Yeah.
So I don't know if
It really is just like Fennec out of The Mandalorian too. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job making that's what I'm talking about too with, like, the character models, like, they just everything looks so much better, like, and you can tell that looks like Ming-Na, like, it's just, like, exact I mean, it's her doing the voice, and it looks just
Yeah,
like
it just
her.
doesn't take you out of the show at all. You're like,
Yeah.
"That's her."
It's
Like,
like, that's
whatever.
Fennec for sure. So, John, I know you're a couple episodes behind here, so why don't you just fill us in on what you're thinking of Bad Batch for now, but first, I do have to say, let me make sure there's nothing on here. I'm gonna have something new in the collection soon here.
Oh, you got it?
I want it. I want it focused.
No
Look
shit.
at that. $224. Pretty good
That's
price.
a really good deal.
Pretty damn good price. Less than retail. He retailed for 242, I think, or 246. There it is. I'm like, I told you I was gonna get
Nice.
that thing. Didn't think I would, but there it was. But what do you think, John? What's your thoughts here? That's not John.
Um,
Hey.
yeah, no, I've enjoyed the series. It's one of those things like I'm not very good at like doing other stuff while I'm watching these shows because I feel like I missed too much. So like I want to be able to focus on it because I've tried to start it a couple times like while I'm working on stuff like trying to do dishes or doing stuff around the house and stuff, and I feel like I just missed too much. I end up spending like an hour watching an episode and going back because I'm going back to rewind and restart parts. So um but I've really enjoyed what I've watched so far. There was something that you guys were talking about though, um, with her being the female Boba Fett. Do you guys think that I mean that's a revelation to me. Like I knew she had to have some sort of Django genetic material and whatever, and I didn't realize how close it was or whatever. With her being a kid, do you think that there's a possibility that she shows up later on? Have we talked about this already? That she'll show up in like the Book of Boba Fett, or she'll show up in one of the live action series that we're following in the Star Wars universe?
I had never really considered it, but it's definitely possible.
I
I
mean,
mean,
because for all intents and purposes, she's Boba's sister, more or less, right?
yeah, and that's why I think we might see that whole Cad Bane Boba Fett showdown because I think if Boba finds out that he's got a sister and Cad Bane's hunting her,
You're gonna go
that's an
get that sister.
easy conflict there, and they could finally do the whole that's where he gets the dent in the helmet kind of thing, and like have that whole thing and have that
Maybe
play
they
out,
saved it
whatever.
on purpose for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe.
the
How
only thing
old? How old is Boba at this time?
at this time, like 20s, probably.
Late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I thought he was still pretty young because he's only what like 12, 13 when his dad gets his head lopped off in Clone War.
Yeah, and then this is after how long after is it's right after well, I don't know how far they jumped after Order 66. I'm assuming it's pretty close after that. Like, because I mean, Order 66, you see it happen in the first episode,
Yeah,
but you don't really know exactly how long it's been since. Like, has it been 6 months in this whole period, or has it been 6 days? Like,
Right.
who really knows? I think it's safe to say it hasn't been a year since then. It's with I would say this is in the first year of that
yeah.
still at that time.
Yeah.
So
So he could still be in his
he might
teens or
be
so,
yeah
which
15ish.
which
Yeah,
means yeah, they're not that far apart in age. So
yeah,
yeah,
that is true.
okay.
In my mind, I was thinking that Boba would have been older by now, but like that makes more sense now that I'm thinking about it. Like he probably would maybe be around 15.
Yeah, I would say
Well,
so.
how
Yeah,
long was in between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith? That's the real question. Because
a
then,
couple years.
yeah,
I mean, Anakin goes from being
Padawan to
a
because I think the
Padawan
Clone
to
Wars was 6 years long. If I don't know why that's just was what I'm thinking. I think the Clone Wars lasted
Mhm.
yeah.
6 years. Let me look it up. How long was the Clone
So
Wars?
yeah, I mean that would be interesting to see because we've already seen it with Ahsoka, right?
3 years.
Where you get a character that started in the animated series and then is brought over into the live action with a good deal of success. So it would be interesting if they try and do that with Omega or any of these Bad Batch characters.
Yeah. Like the only thing I would think of that would maybe not that would withhold that from happening is just that if Bad Batch isn't over yet, then
What are they giving
it
away about Bad Batch by
yeah.
having the character show up? Sure.
Yeah,
Yep.
that'd be the only but at the same time, they never care about an animated show versus a live action show. They're gonna
Yeah.
do whatever they want in the live action show, and the animated show is just gonna have to follow suit. So and Dave Filoni's a part of both, so, like,
Yeah,
realistically
exactly.
speaking, like, it's not
If
like
he
they
wants
would
to
be
juggle,
if he wants to jump and do it, it'd be fine. It would fit
if
in,
yeah,
he
if he
knows what
wants to
he's doing.
juggle it, yeah, there's not
They
probably not a better
yeah.
person to be doing it.
Exactly. So Clone Wars lasted 3 years, so yeah, Boba would probably be like 15, 16 at this point.
Yeah, I would say
Okay.
so.
Like maybe 17, but like that might be pushing
Yeah.
it. Like I don't know. So I would mean 15 would be my guess. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
so yeah. 'Cause I'd say Omega's around 15 or 16 too. I don't think they're trying to make her out to be super duper young. Like
No, I'd say
she knows
I
what's
would have
up.
guessed like 14.
Yeah, because I mean she's like
Yeah.
fighting people and shooting bow and she's really smart. Like she's gotta at least be like 15-ish. So and
Mhm.
it would make sense for her to be the same age
As
as
Boba
Boba,
Fett, yeah.
like, in all reality, like, if they're saying that there's only 2 beings that have the same, like, one-to-one ratio of genetic material, like, they would have had to have been made around the same time, you would think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It would be interesting to see if, Boba finds out about that, though, for sure. Maybe, like, he's hanging out with some other, like,
Or
bounty
a
hunter or
Sting,
something. Yeah,
yeah.
like, some weird stuff like that. Who knows? I'm curious. We'll just have to wait and see, though. I'm hoping, still hoping. My only complaint with this show is like, what's the overall plot, man? Like, because we just keep bouncing around the stuff. Like now, it's like Omega gets kidnapped, so that's 2 episodes worth of stuff, but it doesn't really do anything to like tell you like what they're focusing on. Still, like, is it gonna just be the Omega, like keeping her safe? Is that all the show's gonna be about?
Right.
Or is it gonna be about Crosshair and trying to get him back? And is it gonna be about the Empire, like, rising? Like, it's
Yeah.
got the I'm not complaining. I just like all of these things, so I just wanna I just wish I knew where it was going. Like,
Right.
I just
Yeah.
wanna know, like, is it just leading up to Omega, like, dying and then the show's over? Like, you know what I mean? Because like, there's no other plot line that we know of that is taking precedence. You know what I mean? Like, so,
Right.
I don't know.
It is there any character that we've met in the post Star Wars? I don't know. I don't know how to define each era, but in the post Mandalorian world, is there any character we've met that we don't know the identity of, that it could be Omega hiding underneath?
I don't think so.
Not that I'm
Okay.
thinking of.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only connection I could see her having anything to would maybe be that like that doctor dude with the glasses who like
Dr.
obviously
Pershing.
yeah, who would obviously worked on Camino in some capacity and who's
Yeah.
been the only other humanoid that we've seen there that wasn't a clone. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
that's the thing, like Omega knows a lot about the cloning process, but she is a clone, so I mean it kind of throws the similarities out the window, but so, like, the Dr. Kershing dude or whoever is the only human we've ever seen who has had the cloning facility markings on his outfit.
Right.
Everyone else has been a Caminoan. So, I don't know. I would
Yeah.
say no, I don't but there's always something they could throw in, Like,
Sure.
so who knows? We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
Alright, but I feel like, you guys got anything else you wanna add? I feel like it's a good place to wrap it
I think
up.
we covered it.
Alright, well, Rick, where can everybody find you online, sir?
Follow me over on Instagram at Sir Rick Metz.
Alright, John, where can everybody find you online?
Instagram and Twitters at Nightwing_K.
All right, you can follow me simply here at Sir Rob Bifo. And again, guys, do not forget that's Twitter, Instagram, whatever. This is all there. Same thing. But don't forget, you can submit topics and questions to the show just by emailing us here at honestanduneducated@gmail.com. That's honestanduneducated@gmail.com. And then don't forget, as usual, starting next week. I think I said this last week, but shit happens.
Things happen.
Things happen. I mean, like I said, like I said off the top, I started a new 9 to 5. It was my first week. I had stuff to do, but the reviews will be coming back every Wednesday for the collectibles. So I don't know which one I'm going to do, but stay tuned. for another hot toy review coming this Wednesday. The last one I did was the Deluxe Jenner, so from Rogue One. So that's up there now. You can go take a look at that. And then lastly, we usually stream every Friday as well, sometime between 8 to 9 p.m. Eastern time. So come hang out with us there. We typically, now that Loki is having a Wednesday debut, we're going to be doing a live review of Loki every Friday during the stream as well. And then we obviously just kind of loosely talk Bad Batch since it had just came out. So we're normally always talking that, but then we'll play some games or whatever. So yeah, coming out is then. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy the content, and that really helps out the channel and all that stuff. But that's pretty much it. Until next time, guys, take care.